name is Taylor Mathis and I'm from Chaparral High School. I will be persuading you the reasons for why spanking shouldn't be banned. The purpose of this speech is to change your opinion on spanking if you consider it to be cruel. There are many reasons why it should be allowed, and I will explain to you why with supporting evidence. By listening to my speech, you will hopefully leave here with a changed opinion and maybe even change others' opinion also. Discipline has been used for centuries throughout the world. According to Robert Rigoli's 2010 book titled Delinquency in Society, nearly 2/3 of Americans approve of spanking. Many people argue to what is the right way of disciplining. Some parents have strong beliefs in spanking children when they misbehave, and some parents disagree. They consider it to be an abusive form of discipline. People often don't fully understand the true difference between abuse and corporal punishment. Child abuse is the mistreatment of a child by a parent or guardian, including neglect, beating, and sexual molestation. This is much different than corporal punishment, which is the use of physical force with the intention of causing a child to experience pain but no injury for the purposes of correction or control of the child's behavior. I believe that spanking a child to correct his or her behavior is an effective way to discipline and should not be banned. When spanking a child, you need to know the difference between spanking and abuse, the benefits it holds, and also how to spank depending on the child's age. The problem with many parents is that they abuse their children instead of only spanking them when they misbehave. Many abuse by giving full-out blows or physical hits. There is a line that needs to be drawn between spanking and abusing. According to a 2008 article written by Henderson from Ebony magazine titled To Spank or Not to Spank, in 2005, approximately 3.3 million allegations of child abuse and neglect were made to Child Protective Services. Just because parents do not know the correct way of spanking a child doesn't mean that they should create a law to where they can't even touch your child with a light spank to get his attention. I believe that the only ones abusing should be punished. Stories from the 2012 article Thou Shalt Not Abuse from Christianity Today involve a 4-year-old child named Sean Paddock, who suffocated because his adopted parents wrapped him too tightly in a blanket for punishment. Another story was when police found a little girl's body starved and naked, wrapped in a sheet in her adopted parents' backyard after they denied her food for a day, locked her in a closet, forced her to sleep in a barn, and required her to use a porta potty instead of the inside toilet. She'd been repeatedly struck with a 15-inch plastic tube before she died. These two children and many others in the world are being abused and do not deserve this for any reason. Spanking can be a very positive way of disciplining. Children who grow up with parents that use strict discipline, including spanking, behave much better than the children that basically get away with anything. One story in a 2004 article written by Siegel called Commentary, Surprising Benefits of Spanking involves a 3-year-old boy with his mother and father who went on a road trip. In their car, their son was getting too wild and had been taking his seatbelt off, which caused an issue of safety. For hours of trying to calm him down by saying he will either sit back down or sit and avoid the car along the highway, it only resulted in lots of high-pitched whining and no success. Finally, the father warned that if he didn't stop, he would receive a spanking. The young boy only laughed, so they pulled the vehicle over and gave him a spanking. They got back on the highway, and for the first time in hours, their son was still. They realized that the spanking did not hurt their son or themselves, and that the discipline their parents once used actually worked. This is a perfect example to show why spanking really isn't all that bad. It really works. All ages can be involved with physical punishment, including infants. The Department of Health, from Elliman's article, who supports the protection of babies, advises it's never okay to smack or shake a baby. A baby does not fully understand what's right from wrong because their brains are fully developed, and this could lead to behavior or social problems when they grow older. Although after the age of about 2, this may be inappropriate action. For instance, if a young child ran out in the street, the best way for him to learn is with a little pain so he will remember how it felt last time and therefore not do it again. But parents still need to know the correct way to spank their children. An appropriate spanking is when a child receives no bruises the following day. After spanking a child must be filled with love and encouragement to improve their behavior in the future. According to the 2009 book Raise Civilized Kids by Bob Lehman, discipline should be different depending on the child's age. From birth to 18 months, babies should not be spanked. 18 months to about 3 years, toddlers may be lightly spanked, and 4 to 14 years is the age children should be spanked. Children behave much better when they grow up knowing that their parents use strict discipline. Spanking is one of the largest used methods to correct one's behavior, therefore it should not be banned. Some people take spanking way too far and can result in abuse, which is illegal, and no child, whatever the circumstances, should be physically beaten. This is a huge problem in our society today, and it should not be confused with simple spankings or corporal punishment. Spanking teaches a child right from wrong and enables them to grow up a well-behaved person. In the future, if it was illegal, the world would be full of violent, misbehaved, wild children. There would be no respect between a child and its mother because a child would simply do as he pleases. This simply shouldn't be tolerated. The world needs to realize what could become of it if children aren't disciplined the right way. By listening to my speech, you know why spanking should not be banned. Hopefully I've persuaded you that it is okay to spank your kids because after all, I was spanked as a child and I turned out fine.